Greetings, everybody. Okay, so since today is the last day of Jupiter being in Gemini before we shift into Jupiter in Cancer, I've already put some posts out about Jupiter in Cancer, but today I want to get a little bit personal. I want to talk about the last time Jupiter was in Cancer and what happened for me, okay? Now, this happened in 2013, the last time Jupiter was in Cancer. And what happened for me it was June of 2013 is when Jupiter went into Cancer. And that's when my marriage fell apart, my marriage of 13 years. I don't think I've ever fully told the entire story of what happened and why my marriage wound up dissolving. I think I wound up spending so much time becoming a single parent and like focusing in on my child and my daughter and my career to where I never really had a chance to just fully tell the entire story. So since TikTok likes stories, let's have story time. So 2013, I was at the height of my career, my family. I was in a great place in a lot of ways, but I was also in a bad place in a lot of ways too. What was currently going on for me at that time in 2013, I had just did my very first conference for Living the Line. So I did my Living the Line conference. I was married. I was with my husband. We were together 13 years at the time. And I was pregnant, okay? I was also pregnant. Had just finished doing one of the biggest stage plays in Atlanta, Stripped, that was produced by Dorsey Levens and Tiff, I can't remember Tiffany last name, by Tiffany, and it was a great play. Like, it was so good to the point where we was deciding to go on the road, and we were thinking about a whole lot of different things. In the interim of all those things that was going on, because I was at the height of my career, I had just met Robert Townsend. He had just got my CD. I just knew things were going to take off. I had just met Chef Garvin, who was my crush. Like, everything that I thought I wanted in life, I had, okay? But what I did not want another baby. And I was also getting ready to be homeless, okay? So I was making all these major moves, but I did not have a place to stay. I was in and out between having a place to stay with my husband and my daughter, and I was also staying with my brother and my sister-in-law, and I was going through a lot of things on those things because even though I knew that me working for myself and me doing music full-time was what I was supposed to do, I was still staying with people, okay? And those things run out, okay? Things run out regardless of what your dreams are. Some people don't believe in your dreams, okay? And when they don't, they want you off of them, okay? So I know at that time was like, had just gotten kicked out of my brother and my sister-in-law's house. And again, I told you I found out that I was pregnant. We told the entire strip cast that I was pregnant. They had an entire like partying thing. It was a lot going on. But we had to leave. I had to leave Atlanta for a little bit and had to move back to Louisiana, which is one of the things I did not want to do. Like, at the last resort, I did not want to move back to Atlanta. This was also my 33rd year of life, okay? I just turned 33, so I was in my God principle. And we moved, but this time instead of going to my hometown, which is Toulouse, Louisiana, we went to Shreveport. And I have never liked Shreveport, okay? Even as a child, I've never liked Shreveport, but that is where my ex-husband is from. So we went and decided to attempt at a life of living in Shreveport, Louisiana, and it was terrible. Now, just segueing a little bit, because I know you guys don't know everything about me. Like, I'm just now, especially in this TikTok world, just talking about things. I had already decided in my marriage from 2010, okay? So that's 3 years prior, that being poly was the only way that I was going to be able to live a successful marriage or successful union or just be a successful relationship person, period. And so we are 3 years into it. I don't have any partners. I'm not, necessarily dating anybody outside of my husband, but I am talking to people. So when we moved to Louisiana and things started getting a little bit hot and sticky between me and my husband, because I don't want to be there. I feel forced to be there. He's getting ready to start working at a casino. Like, all the things just I did not want was starting to happen. So, but for me, business wise, things were doing great. I Am Living Alive was doing great. Sessions was doing great. I had just started a class of yin, so things were going great for me on one end. But as far as my family life, it wasn't going great. So I petitioned and told my husband that I wanted to move back to Atlanta. He did not want to move back to Atlanta because it was so rocky for him. So it wind up causing a big rift between our relationship. Me wanting to move back to Atlanta, I started talking to somebody who I was talking to off and on when him and I had split. So he assumed that me moving back to Atlanta meant me being with this person, when it did not. But I wound up having we had a big fight, argument, in the middle of me attempting to get Class of Yin off the ground. And I could not work. Fight and argue, as well as take care of my daughter. So I decided to go home. Shreveport and where I'm from, Tallulah, is like 3-hour difference. So I told him, I was like, listen, I think I need to go home. I think I need to get a break. I think I need to get my mom's help with not only with London, but just with things that are going on with me. And even though he agreed, internally, he also had some things going on. Because he had started talking to this girl at work, which, again, we were poly, so I don't care about any of those things. But I think he started to think that the grass was greener on the other side. Whereas for me, I just needed a break and I needed balance. So I wound up going home. And when I got home, things were starting to get great. My mom was helping me out with my daughter. It was the summertime at this point, because this was, again, we were thinking June, right? June 2013 is when this thing happened. So I'm at home with my mom 3-4 weeks, and my husband has been by himself. We've been separated, so we both are feeling like the relief of the relationship pressure being off of us. And so now it's time for us to discuss about me coming back to either Shreveport or what we're going to do. This is July, right? So now we're in the heat of Jupiter being in Cancer. And he told me on the phone that he was, he would come and get London, and that London can be with him, but he no longer wanted the marriage. I said, okay. I literally just said, okay. It was no fight. It was no argument. It was none of those things. And I think that hurt him more than anything, because I think for me, I was tired. And I think this is the thing, after 13 years of me feeling like I had tried everything, and we'll get more into depth and just the parts of this relationship over the 13 years. But at this point of the Jupiter in Cancer, I recognized that I needed to take care of myself. I recognized that I needed me more than I needed him, or more than I needed anybody. I needed myself. So him deciding to not continue with the marriage allowed me the space to say okay, and to see what was going to happen. Okay, and we did. We allowed that happen. Now he went on a rampage of like slandering me and saying all kind of things, of which I never did, because there was no fight, right? And that's the thing about Aries, okay? When we get to a point to where after we have tried everything, like, that's the thing about us, we are loyal. We will try everything that we know that we can. But once our bodies start to show signs of we need to get out, we get out. So for me, it was no fight, no tussle, but he went on a smear campaign about who I was and who I wasn't. But that Jupiter in Cancer transit not only set me on a whole new foundation of who I am now to this point, but also who I needed to be for myself. So this Jupiter in Cancer transit met me with some similar situations, like relationship dynamics per se, but not in marriage and those things. But it definitely has set me on a trajectory of like, what's my next move? So I'm preparing to move to this next place. And I'm just reflecting on how important these transits are, and how important that Jupiter in Cancer transit was then, which was 2013 and 33. So full circle moment. Okay, so I wanted to share that. I'm probably going to edit this instead of just dropping it, and we'll get more details. But I hope you guys are really taking this last day to really just focus on what you have sacrificed since 2013, and what you need for yourself now, so that you can move forward and give you what you need. Jupiter in Cancer is about self-care. It's about you taking care of you. It's nobody's responsibility. Nobody's coming to save you. It's only you. Okay, thank you guys for joining my TED Talk for today. I'll talk to you soon.